Hi, this is David Dusek for Golf Week, golfweek.com, as well as USA Today Sports. And I've got right here one of the newest wedges from TaylorMade. This is the TaylorMade Mill Grind 3 wedge, and here's everything you need to know about it. The TaylorMade Mill Grind 3, or MG3 wedges, were developed after TaylorMade talked extensively to tour pros that are on the company staff, like Tommy Fleetwood, Rory McIlroy, Dustin Johnson, Colin Morikawa, etc., and asked them what they were looking for in wedges from a shape perspective, as well as from a performance perspective. Now, pros can generally generate a lot of the spin that they want, but obviously they would love to be able to spin the ball as much as possible. So one of the things that sticks around from the MG2 wedge that goes into the MG3 is the raw steel face. All these clubs are going to be shipping with a sticker that goes over the hitting area itself. Now you need to peel that sticker off, because while all of the wedge in the back and the sole section and the top line is chromed so it won't corrode, the very raw steel right here is going to rust once it's exposed to the air and to moisture, etc. According to TaylorMade and many of the better players that are out there, they simply prefer the feel of a raw steel wedge, and they feel that a lot of times that rust that develops can add to increased surface roughness here and help them generate just a little bit more spin on touch shots. That said, I think the real spin generation on this wedge is going to be coming from the ZTP grooves that are going really from the very bottom, just above the leading edge, all the way up to the top. Now, according to TaylorMade, Tommy Fleetwood put in a request, and he wanted the first groove to actually be a little bit lower on the face, so if he hits it a little bit thin, he can still get a little bit of a groove on there. TaylorMade has also put in some micro ridges, micro ribs, if you will, across and in between the main groove. Now those stick up from the face instead of going down, and according to TaylorMade, those micro ribs, working in conjunction with the ZTP grooves, help to increase spin by about 200 RPMs on greenside chip shots and pitch shots. From full swing shots that are going to be hit from the fairway, the main grooves are going to be doing all the work, but the closer you get to the green, the more partial shots you get, the more delicate the shot. The combination of the ZTP grooves along with the micro ribs and the raw steel is going to give you more surface roughness and more spin, therefore more control. Now, as the name implies, there is some milling going on here. Once again, TaylorMade is milling the sole of these wedges to make sure that the geometry of the sole, the radius, everything that's on the bottom of the club is exactly the way that the designers want it to be. You can see these tiny little lines that are going back and forth along the sole of the golf club. Those lines are created from a milling machine that's controlled by a computer, going back and forth, shaving off tiny little ribbons of material to get that geometry just right. Now, the MG3 wedges do come in 3 different bounce options, really 4 different bounce options. There is a low, a standard, and a high bounce option, as well as a Tiger Woods edition. The TW grind only comes in a 56 and a 60-degree wedge. But the rest of the wedges, you're going to be able to get into those low, standard, and high bounces. So depending on the sand conditions that you play in, the turf conditions you play in, as well as the type of swing that you have with your wedges, there's probably not going to be a better fitting TaylorMade wedge for you than maybe there's ever been before. TaylorMade's MG3 wedges are available in 2 options. There's a standard chrome as well as a black option. Again, both of these finish options are going to feature the raw steel face. So if you're looking to get yourself into some new wedges this summer, you might want to talk to a good custom fitter about the new TaylorMade Mill Grind 3 family of wedges.